Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1986. Today, we're going to talk about Salamander. The story of Salamander takes us back to Konami. We have talked about Konami several times before. They have been responsible for Scramble, Track and Field, and Yi Ar Kung Fu. We last talked about Konami in our video on Rush'n Attack. For Salamander, Konami turned to Hiroyasu Machiguchi, who had created Gradius. Salamander is a follow-up to Konami's Gradius, considered a spin-off from the original. For the music for the game, Konami reached out to Miki Higashino, who had also done the music for Gradius. Higashino would be joined by Shinya Sakamoto, Sotei Terashima, and Atsushi Fujio. Salamander is a scrolling shooter game. The player plays as Vic Viper, returning from Gradius. A second player can join and will play as Lord British, a new spaceship for this game. Lord British, though, is sometimes referred to as Road British in some translations. The player's goal is to make it through the 6 stages of the game, some of which scroll horizontally, while others scroll vertically. The player must, of course, defeat enemies while avoiding enemy fire. Salamander does have power-ups available for the player. These power-ups are given in the form of capsules that are left behind by certain enemies. This more straightforward approach replaces the selection bar used in Gradius. Konami released Salamander to Japanese arcades on July 4th, 1986. Konami would also release Salamander to European arcades in 1986. Konami would release the game to North American arcades in October 1986, but would rename the game Life Force. This version of the game would include an opening text that changed the game's plot. In Life Force, the game is played inside a giant alien with a bacterial infection. The backgrounds of several stages would change to match the new story, with narration added to tell the player what part of the alien the player was entering. The names of the power-ups would also be changed. That is a brief backstory to Salamander and Life Force. With that told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in the game. This is Salamander, as you can see, copyright 1986 by Konami. I chose to go with the Salamander version of the game. It's just going to be closer in the theme and everything like that to Gradius, which is probably why the game is more well known, so that's why we are going to be doing this one. And we do get an introduction to all the different power-ups, and we get a little voice telling us everything as you pick them up. Missile. I'm not sure why there was a stutter. And then there's a multiple. So basically, laser. Similar upgrades to what we saw in Gradius. But this one, the Ripple Laser, that one I'm a fan of. Just feels like it does so much more damage. Then you can get the Force Field. Outside of the Force Field and the multiple, I have a hard time separating all the different power-ups. I'll probably just pick up everything as we go. And then we get into the actual demo of the game. I'm not sure how long we will stick with this one, because it is long. They just keep going. They don't struggle too much with this one. But I will say that the background here is a little weird, and it does look slightly organic to me. I can understand why there was a change into kind of a inside an alien for the North American release. But we are sticking with the Japanese, at least I believe it's the Japanese release. So we are going to go from here. Let's see what I can do. I typically do better in this than I do Gradius, but
Destroy them all.
We'll see. Destroy them all!
Pick it up for multiple.
Pick it up for a multiple.
Pick it up for missile.
Another
Pick it up
missile.
for force field. Pick it up for force field. Ripple laser.
The Ripple Laser, and there we go. Now I can hold the button down
Multiple.
and then just tap that one. Alright, that's probably going to be my strategy. Is hold the fire button down, so I get another multiple. Let's go underneath here. I think 4 is the limit. But I like how quickly I was able to just get super powerful. I'm a big fan of that. And we'll avoid that. No need for me to deal with any of that. And now you can see why I do better in this game as opposed to Gradius. I do like the power-up system better in this one. It's hard not to compare it to Gradius. Alright, there, through there, up.
Pick it up or speed up. Speed up.
Alright, speed up. Not to a crazy extent, though. Yeah, just holding down the attack button and kind of hitting the missiles every once in a while, it's doing a lot of work for me. Yeah, I don't think any of these drop anything. It's probably best for me not to attack at this point, to be honest, but I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, no, no. Alright, we'll stick up here. Can I make it through? No.
Is empty.
Okay, just...
Intruder has penetrated our force field.
No, I made it through the force field, and we made it to the boss. Would have loved to have more power-ups by the time I got here, but that didn't happen. It's a giant brain! I don't think I can do much here. No, it's coming for me. Alright, we'll circle around. Then maybe I can get the eye. Alright. We got a little bit of a few hits on the eye. Alright, let's go back.
Go up.
Okay, now we're going up, so already better than what I did in Gradius. Oh, this is where things start picking up, you can tell. Would love to have more power-ups. Anytime you guys are ready, game. I think these are the enemies that drop it. Another multiple. I still call them options in my head. I have to stop and think about it. It's like, what are they called? Multiples. I mean, don't get me wrong, it makes sense, but it's just not the term I'm used to. Okay. Doing pretty well. I don't like that. Ah, couldn't get him. Now I got hit again. And they just instantly respawn me. The problem is that I lose all my power-ups. I would have loved to have kept them, but I understand why they didn't let me keep it, because I got super powerful very quickly in that first level.
Penetrated our force field.
We're getting close to the end of the second level already? Once again, power-ups would have been nice, but, you know, once you don't have power-ups, it's hard to get more. Especially through an asteroid field or a meteor field? I don't know what those were. The giant rocks in space, that's what they were. Okay, that is not nice. Yeah, that was only a matter of time. Alright. Let's put in my initials here. I'm kind of proud of that run. That was decent, I feel. I feel like I did alright there. Can I do more?
Destroy them all.
Looks like no, I gotta start over. So we'll do one more run.
Multiple. Multiple. Pick it up for force field.
Seriously.
Force field. Ripple laser.
Alright, well we got the ripple laser, which will help.
Chamber. Multiple missiles.
Okay. So I lost, like, right off the bat, which is never fun, but... You know, if I can keep my powered-up self going, then things will be better for me. I should have stayed down. Really? None of you hit? Alright, there's, I believe, the max of multiples. I think that was missiles. Not worth it. Not worth... I've died so many times practicing hitting the sides like that I'm not willing to try to get a power-up. Alright, I'm out of multiples.
Pick it up for speed up.
Alright, there's a speed up. Alright, let's get through there. And it grew into me! That is not nice. Alright, I got a couple multiples. Let's just kind of fly through this now that I don't have the power-ups.
multiple.
What'd I die to? Oh, I can't go through that. Yeah, the problem is that these things grow so much. Alright, through there. Yeah, there was only so much I was going to be able to do there. And then I'm... Yeah, this is not a good run. Maybe I'll do one more after this. I was doing so much better the first run. Alright, try to hit this guy in the eye, but I got so little to work with here. Also, why are there like giant like worm things coming out of this guy's eye? Out of the brain, and why does the brain have an eye on it? Okay. Circle around. I'm screwed. Yeah! I wasn't going to be able to do that. I am not proud of that run. Alright, we'll do it one more time, but that's pretty much going to be as far as I think I can go here. Let's see if I can do better. Like, if I can stay... If I can stay in charge here... Alright, I got the ripple laser. I got 2 options out of that. Alright, now I got missiles. Of course, missiles with the options just spam the screen. Alright, got max multiples. We want to go down. It was just a multiple. Can't get any more of those. More multiples that I can't get anything of. We get a little bit of slowdown. Yeah, see, I told you. Alright, well at least I got all the multiples back. And I can still hold the fire button. And yeah, like I feel like I did okay there. Alright, so I feel like just dying at this point. Let's just get... Really? Yeah, now's not the time for speed up. Then we get the slowdown here. And now I'm not going to be able to make it through this without upgrades. Yeah, there we go. Not a good run. Still made the leaderboard somehow, but yeah, we're not going to call that a good run. So, yeah, that first run was my best. I told you I thought I did pretty well there, so that was the only one that I was proud of. That is the game played, and with the gameplay, it's time to talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, I did have fun playing Salamander. Salamander's a fun game. Like a lot of shooters, I can't last very long in it because I just feel like I'm not particularly good at shooters, but I had fun for the amount of time that I was able to play. I do like the upgrade system better in this than I did in Gradius. I like just getting upgrades and everything just kind of stacking, and this works well for that. Plus, there was a bit of an option, so to speak, to keep your multiples once you died if you were able to get to them kind of quickly. So that was nice. It kind of gives you a head start when you're trying to repower yourself up. The game does give you a lot to work with. So you have the ripple laser, you got all the missiles with the multiples, you got the force field, but the game does have a difficulty to it. It does take a little bit of memorization. There's going to be things that are growing at you in that first level. There's going to be some things that you need to shoot your way through, so don't move. All that kind of stuff is going to require practice. You're not going to get that the first time that you play it, more than likely. So the game does have some difficulty to it. After all, it is an arcade game, so they want you to keep dropping quarters in. Wouldn't be any good to the arcade owner for you to drop 1 quarter in and then beat the entire game for 3 hours, right? That's not going to be good for them. So the game does have a difficulty to it. I think that the difficulty is pretty fair, to be honest, because even though I didn't play it for a long amount of time, I felt like I made substantial progress, especially in that first run. Like, it just felt like I was going places, I was destroying a lot of things, and that does make me happy. It was a little bit more difficult once we got to, let's call them the asteroids, in the second level, but ultimately, it was fun. I actually think I like this one more than the original Gradius, simply because Gradius felt like I was managing too many things with the selection bar for the upgrades, and that made things more difficult for me because I didn't want to grab certain power-ups so that I would miss the upgrade that I wanted to actually get. This game doesn't have that. You see a power-up, just go for it, unless you hit the sides and then you'll die, which that happens very easily in this game. So for somebody that is, a modern gamer, hasn't really heard of this game, is this worth checking out? I think it is. I think this is a game that if you see in front of you, definitely see if you can put a couple quarters in, have some fun with it. If you are interested in shooters or the history of especially space shooters and horizontal scrolling shooters, this game does have a lot for you. So this is definitely a game worth checking out. And of course, if you were a fan of Gradius, this is definitely worth checking out as well. If you're not interested in shooters, that's just not something that appeals to you, then of course this game's not going to have a lot for you. But the graphics are good, the gameplay is good, the sound is good. I love that they do have a voice for the upgrades. That's a big deal, and they do have a little bit of a guide kind of telling you, hey, pick that up, which is nice for people just kind of getting into the genre. So ultimately, I think the game is worth checking out. Probably not, too much out of your way, but if you did like Gradius, this is worth checking out. But it's probably not worth checking out more than the original Gradius. And that's my modern take on the game. When the game was released, the game would be popular. In Japan, the game would be the top-grossing arcade game for 2 months in 1986. Salamander would not only see ports, re-releases, and a sequel, Salamander would be popular enough in Japan to break into the mainstream beyond video games. Salamander would also not be the last game in the Gradius franchise. We'll keep an eye on these as we continue. As for Konami, with another success on their hands, Konami would continue their role as one of the leading Japanese video game developers. We will hear from Konami again. As for Hiroyasu Machiguchi, he would continue to create video games. We will hear from Hiroyasu Machiguchi again as we continue. Miki Higashino would also continue to help create video games. We will hear from Miki Higashino again as well. That will do it for the story of Salamander for now. My name is Baller Scuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when we get a little naughty.